Hey friends, it's Greg here with a super simple hammock setup for keeping yourself dry on a hammock camping outing. We're using a cheap $2 poly tarp from Walmart, and we're attaching that with a ridge line of 25 feet of basic, I think this is 3mm utility cord. And so we've got the tarp rigged on a diagonal to create an asymmetric diamond. And you'll see that on one corner we've attached a carabiner to the grommet, and then we've simply created a loop on the end of that carabiner and run it to and around the tree, and then back through to clip into that carabiner. This creates a nice V shape around the tree that lets us put our hammock suspension a little bit higher and through that V so that we can swing in the hammock without actually bumping the suspension system that holds our tarp in place. Now underneath you'll see our ridge line run through the tarp, and I do it this way so that I can hang accessories up under my tarp, like a light or whatnot. And then on the other end, I am using a night eyes figure 9 with a carabiner attached to it. And so that carabiner again just clips to the opposite corner of the hammock, or not of the hammock rather, but of the tarp. And then the ridge line clips in and runs through there around the tree, and then anchors through the night eyes configuration to adjust tension on the ridge line. Now, what I like about this setup is that I can easily adjust the spacing of the hammock between my trees, rather of the tarp between my trees, to get good coverage over my hammock. So if I'm using a simple 6x8 tarp, I get a 10-foot ridge line across the diagonal. And obviously this is set up very high for the purposes of ease and demonstration, but you'd want to bring this down lower, closer to your hammock, in order to get better coverage from wind and rain. Now, using the diamond configuration doesn't give you quite as much isolation from the wind as if you were using a pup tent kind of rectangular configuration, but it makes for easy tie-outs. On the corners, I've just tied in a simple length of accessory cord with whatever knot you choose to use, and then run that down to a tent stake and back around. And instead of using any additional hardware, I've simply put a taut line hitch from my Boy Scout days on there so that I can quickly adjust tension on those side pullouts. Now, if it were weather driven, I would obviously bring those in closer to my hammock to get better coverage and maybe keep in a little bit of warmth and get better protection from the rain. But that's it. It's easy. It's cheap. I think the hammock itself, not included with its suspension, I've got about $2.50 worth of accessory cord and a carabiner that I grabbed off a bottle of suntan lotion, and then I think I paid $4 for my night eyes figure 9, and got the tent stakes at Walmart for, I don't know, $1 a piece or $1.50 a piece, something like that. So not a big investment for an easy and accessible hammock camping rig. Wishing you a great day and lots of hang time. This is Greg in Raleigh, North Carolina.